Good morning, wanderers. Well, I thought I was going to be going on a little bit longer hike this morning, but if you look through there, there's a bridge. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. That bridge was at the base of our hike yesterday. And so I was going to come down to the lower end and hike. I thought it was a lot further away than what it was. So anyway, let's see. Some beautiful stuff in there, nice little rock piles and rapids. We might be able to get down there and hike back up in through across the rocks. The path goes down this way. So I'm doing more and more little shorts and things like that for videos to put out, and trying to get some more videos compiled and put together. Because I really want to get this channel started. And like I've always told everybody, I'm gonna be very candid, very upfront. What you see is what you get. I don't edit, I don't trim, I don't do anything with my videos other than record them and put them up. That'll probably change a little bit as time goes on. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think this channel will change. I think it'll all still be this, just the thoughtful wanderer, just doing the little wanderings. Woo, that's kind of a slick little rock there. Alright. A little steeper than it looks like. Yeah, that's funny how you don't really see how steep it is in the phone. That's pretty hilarious. Need somebody else to be down below me so you can see exactly how short they look compared to where I'm at. At any rate, slippery on the feet with the dead oak leaves on top of granite with powder. Alright, we made it down into the basin here. I hadn't been in the basin, so a little quieter. You can see where the channel was when the water was up high. Went down this way, a bunch of stuff stuck and crammed in down through here. Because the water, I would be underwater right now when it was running as high as it was this last winter. But look at this. Here's some more of this granite with the other rocks in it. This is the stuff that amazes me, man. This is the kind of stuff that just makes you realize granite formed soft. You know, there is some event that softens granite because these other rocks sunk in it, or the granite flowed over these other rocks. I mean, there's no other way to explain how this other weird rock, you know, all these little rocks that are inside this, how they got inside the granite. So it makes you think about all these ancient ruins and stuff with all these granite blocks. Like, did they know how to soften it so that they could just pour it like concrete and we just see it as granite, but it's actually a concrete? There is some evidence on a couple of these ruins that it's a geopolymer, that they use, you know, crushed stone to create other stone. But these ones that are granite, they say, you know, that's not the case and whatever. But look at it. I mean, right there in front of your face. There you go. Like, let's go over to it. I mean, this might be a different kind of granite, but it's inside. It's a whole separate formation of granite than the granite around it. And it's obviously a little harder because it wears a little less than the rest of it does. Like, you can't say that's not a separate formation inside of it. I mean, there's more over there. Look at that. So pretty. Pretty waterfalls. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Very loud. I don't know if you can still hear me, but oh, look at that little pool over there. That's a neat little pool over there. And if I didn't want to lose my phone, I could jump that pretty easily. You'll see that. But look at how gorgeous it is, man. I just love little rivers and streams. Well, and you get people that just have to leave their mark. It's sad. They don't do it in that kind of stuff. I mean, Mother Nature's going to get rid of that in no time, but it's still like, I don't know. Leave a mark with stacked rocks or something like that that's not chemicals and whatever. So anyway, yeah, I mean, like, you can't explain that. So there's obviously some way that granite, or at least some of the looser granite or whatever you want to call it, softens and other granite or other formations are able to sink in it, or it's able to flow over them and then lock them inside. There's no other way to explain that. Oh, there's those pretty flowers again. I love how they're just growing right there in the little cracks. And how'd they survive the flooding? How'd they not get washed away? But there they are, growing again. Another pretty little area. Look at this. Big old rock down here. And a bunch more of those formations in it. So I mean, you know, it just begs the question of how do you soften granite? Oh, it looks like there's a little eddy going on down here. Cool. That's a neat little pool. Oh, it looks like there's a little bench in there. You could sit down in there. I might have to try that when it's hotter. It is super cold right now. Oh, look at this. Look at this. A little bench. A little seat. Let's see how comfortable it is. Get the stuff out of there. Oh my gosh. Look at that. There's even a spot for the drink. Oh, now this is what this is made for right here. Kick back a minute. Talk to you guys since it's such a short hike. Look at all that granite, man. Look at all that stuff breaking and falling down into the little valley here. But again, back to the ancient ruins. These are things that have always amazed me, is all these, you know, stones and stuff like that. But if you look at some of these, it really looks like, I don't know if any of you have ever taken like a concrete bag that was wet and stacked it up, and you get a little concrete wall, but it looks like it's, you know, been in bags and whatever. If you look at some of these ruins that are down in South America and stuff, there's a lot of them that have that same kind of a look, you know, and they're in weird angles and shapes, but they're flattened out. Now there's a lot of people that are talking about how on behind those they're rough, they're, you know, they're all this and all that, and not so smooth and fit together. And I believe that. That's not, you know, that doesn't surprise me, because if you're doing bags and you backfill, you're going to end up with some of that, and, you know, weird spots and all that. But they look to me like they were concrete bags. I mean, yeah, massive ones, no doubt about it, they were massive ones, but they look like, you know, just bagged concrete, but they're granite. But again, you have to wonder, like, with these kind of things going on, that granite at some point was soft enough to either flow over or allow to sink items into it. So there's got to be a way that softens that. And they have found some residues of different plant chemicals and things like that along some of these, that some of the Incas and stuff still today that practice using this stuff, it actually softens rock over time. So like if you used it as a mortar, they think that this might have been used as a mortar on some of these massive rocks, and it softened them to where they would, you know, flatten out and kind of squish together a little bit, but not soft enough to like sink over stuff. So somehow in nature, in natural events, in natural situations, granite becomes viscous. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt. The evidence is everywhere you look when you have granite around you. There are hunks of granite with other rocks that have, again, either sunk into them or been run over by liquid granite. There's just no other way to put it. There's no other way that you can convince me that this is, you know, it's like a pearl inside an oyster. I mean, how'd that get there? How'd that get there? So it's just one of those things. And again, like, I am a creationist, so did God create these little things inside of them or whatever? I don't know. I mean, sure, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case and stuff, but I think he created the process by which they get there. I think that's the more important thing. So for me, a lot of these ancient ruins that we have no written history for, that there is no, you know, the hieroglyphs and stuff that are on them, or the writings that are on them, are obviously done later. I think those, and again, remember, I'm a creationist talking, so I believe in the flood. So I think the actual massive projects, the massive stonework, the massive ruins that are so phenomenal to us, that we are just like so baffled by, because there is nothing in writing about them anywhere. I think those were built pre-flood. I think those basically survived the flood. I mean, look at them. They're massive stoneworks. Of course they're going to survive just being underwater. But all of everything that would have been with them, all of the potteries, all of the wood, all of the, signs of human activity would have been washed away. So it would have just been the stone left. So there wouldn't have been anything there. But I also firmly believe that prior to the flood, there was not really a written language. I don't think that there was. Everybody spoke the same language. Everybody, lived extended periods of time. I don't think anybody bothered to write anything down. I don't think there was a need for it. I don't think there was necessity for it, because just go ask the person, like they were still alive, so just go ask them, I think a lot of it was passed down that way and stuff. So I don't think there was a lot of written record. So when they were building these things and all that, they didn't write down how they were building it, because it wasn't important, just that's how they did it. So that's one of the things I believe about that stuff. And I know there's going to be a lot of comments on that and whatever, but it's just something that, I don't know, it makes sense to me, I guess, is the way to put it. I mean, we can say that, all this, all that. And I know there's a lot of stuff about, well, aliens came and helped us. I don't buy into that. If aliens came to help us, they would still be watching, and they would be like, dude, what are you doing? This is not what we freaking taught you how to do. I think they would just make themselves known and put an end to all the BS. So at any rate, there you go. There's some thoughts on that. We're at 12 minutes. Let's see. Let's go down this way a little ways. This is a really comfortable little rock seat, man. I'm going to have to remember this. This is a good spot to come and do some meditation and stuff. You got the stream right here. You got this pool right there to play in. Oh. All right. Let's see. Get around that. I don't want to drop the phone. Not going to do any jumping. Okay, so anyway, give me some thoughts on that. Of course, I'll try to reply to as much of it as I can. This one might get more comments than I'm able to reply to in a reasonable fashion, but I will definitely do my best. Ancient ruins, pre-flood, and somehow figured out how to soften the granite the way nature does to allow this kind of stuff to happen. There's this big old quartz thread in here. Wonder if there's any gold down in the middle of that. Probably. But it runs up that way too. That's amazing. So there's a big one. And obviously this thing's been underwater a lot too. And all the worn spots and smoothed out spots on it. So there's a lot of water runs down this little valley a lot of times. Oh, some berry bushes. You got any blooms on there? Oh, it looks like there was some berries. Past the season, but good to know. Look down there. There's a bunch of them down there too. Have to get down there and see. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous area. I like this little rock out here in the middle. I was on the path up there when I was going up, and I'm already down towards the bottom down here. Like a big old peninsula of granite in the middle. But here again, we've got evidence of these other rocks that have sunk into or been run over by. Here's one that's very prominently round. Let's see if I can get you a profile of this thing. You can see how it sticks up out of there. It's just a rounded dome. Definitely a harder stone than what it's sunk in. Look at that, that's deep. I love how clear this water is. It's so deceptive of to how deep that actually is, but that's over my head for sure. It's 6'2", that's definitely over my head down there. How cool. There's the bridge down there to the Bass Lake. Some people walking across down there. And how gorgeous. There's a big old rock that blocked off this little spot, made a little dam shooting up over the edges. Wow. So cool. See if I can get back up over here, or do I need to go back up and down? There's a bunch of berry bushes in there. Whole bunch of berry bushes in there. Oh, look at this pool down here too. Is this one deep enough to jump into? Might be. Maybe not. Not really. It's got a nice little bench to sit on though. Nice little bench right there to sit. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, now let's see if I go over here, how do I get up? It looks like I'd have to climb up that. Woo, that's pretty steep right there. Maybe I can go down that way and get up on by the bridge. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, Wanderers, just wanted to thank you for joining me this morning, for letting me talk about ancient ruins and soft granite. There you go, here's another one. You see how it sticks out from the granite. The granite's been worn around it. It's amazing. There's got to be some way to soften this stuff. Happens in nature. There's got to be a way to do it. Turn it into a cement type of a softness where you can put other stuff inside of it. Has to be a way. You'd be able to shape it and turn it into bricks. Albeit massive ones. They're still heavy to lift, but you'd be able to take a wheelbarrow full of it and dump it in there. I don't know. Just a thought, man. Let me know. Talk to y'all later, man. Have a good day.